This is Smörgåsbord!
Welcome to Smörgåsbord, a show where we explore the rituals, myths, and all things strange about the world of food. I'm Mick, and here is my co-host.
Angel.
And today we're covering Carnival, which
Yes!
is how I screwed up.
I forgot what we were going to talk about, but this was my suggestion.
Okay, so this is where I completely screwed up, as I was telling you before recording.
Whoops. Do we have to start over?
No, because I typed Carnival, and the first thing that came out was the Carnival in Brazil.
Carnival.
And I was halfway through researching the Carnival when I realized, wait a minute, I'm pretty sure Angel said cotton candy. And
Yes, I said funnel cake.
And then I hit the
we
point
can
of
talk
no
about
return.
both.
So I'm like, whatever, I'm just gonna keep going.
Just keep going.
Yeah, I think you will be pleasantly surprised about at least the origins of Carnival. But for anyone like Angel who was excited to talk about carnival food, I screwed
funnel
up.
Cake? Hello?
So we'll do that next week.
Okay, we're not no funnel cake.
Next week we will cover carnival food.
That's
week
part 2.
Yeah, that will be part 2.
And
part
then
2.
we're gonna talk about food on Carnival cruise ships.
Ooh, wait, like
I don't know. Wasn't one of them like a COVID ship?
there was a Carnival COVID ship?
Or there was a cruise ship. Well, remember how all the cruise ships had like COVID?
Right.
In the beginning. I think one of them was a Carnival cruise ship. As in the brand.
Oh, I didn't know that was a brand.
Oh yeah, no, it's not like clowns on board.
That's what
horrifying.
I was like, it was either that or a bunch of Brazilians in a boat, so I wasn't sure which one.
Brazilian clowns on a boat.
Yeah, we'll leave that for part 3 of the Carnival series.
Yes. Yeah, cruise ship food was actually pretty good.
They are actually. I would think it would taste like old people, but
no, it was great. It was like dessert on demand.
Mm-hmm. There was unlimited Jello when we went on a cruise.
Yes,
so
there was unlimited Jello for me
I like
too.
That.
Okay, but back to the first carnival we're gonna talk about.
Yeah. So yeah, today we're gonna talk about Carnival. I guess before that, what's in your palate this past, I guess, 6 months?
It's like 6 months.
It's been a while since we've done an episode.
I
been busy with COVID.
In like work during COVID.
Yeah, sorry. Work during COVID. We've been lucky not to get COVID.
Yes. Yeah. There's a one close call that was really confusing.
Yeah. That's right. But, it's a good thing we didn't get.
No, I was very confused. But anyway, what have I been eating? I discovered that I love deep fried jalapenos.
Ooh. So with the batter and everything?
So salty. Yeah, not like freshly deep fried, but they sell it in packages.
Oh, cool.
And I kind of eat them like they're chips. Because I don't like potatoes, but fried things.
Do they sell that in bulk, or do you just buy like 10 packages of it?
They used to sell it at Costco, but then they stopped.
Oh.
And then so now I have to get like smaller packages.
Do you chop them up and then throw it into a bag of Cheetos?
Oh, I should try that.
Or veggie straws?
I can mix them with hot veggie straws and hot Cheetos.
Ooh,
just for like a bowl of hot snacks.
That sounds amazing.
That are not actually hot.
You'd probably go through quite a bit of that.
It's like more sodium than hot, probably. But yeah, that's my current obsession.
I'd buy that. That sounds amazing.
Next time I visit you, if I ever get to visit you, I will throw a bag at you and you can try it. Okay, but what are you eating as you're away from society?
I've been eating a lot of Ia's food. So she's been cooking a lot of fried. Actually, yesterday she cooked this fried rice with ground meat or something. It was really tasty.
Mystery rice. I like it.
We've been doing a lot of, because I think this is inspired a lot by the leftover show, like the cooking show where people use leftovers to make dishes on Netflix. And
nice.
I think she's been inspired by that, so we've been cooking dishes and buying food.
Are you like
So
intentionally making leftovers so you can cook with leftovers?
I don't
Like,
think
are
it's
you intentional?
intentional, but we
Okay,
end up doing it. So
right.
yesterday we did like we bought tempura from a Japanese restaurant and then made fried rice from like leftover rice and ground meat.
Nice. Yeah, I was picturing you guys like making double the portion that you usually eat just so you can have leftovers to make leftover stuff.
Honestly, I think if we get into like a good rhythm, we probably would. And this, if you haven't seen the show, you should watch it. They make like food look good.
They make food look good on a cooking show. No.
Yeah. Well, because it left like they'll give them leftovers, like half a fried chicken and French fries and stuff, and then they have to turn it into something else.
Okay. I would make a nest out of the fries and then make a chicken sculpture.
I mean, someone used the fries or like the noodles or something and squished it again and then turned it into wonton chips.
Oh,
That's pretty smart.
like reformed,
Yeah.
reformed, whatever, reformed carbs.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I've been eating. But anyway, back to the carnival, which is carnival, I guess is how it's
Carnival,
supposed to. Yeah.
carnival.
Carnivali.
Someone correct us, please.
One of our two listeners.
Yes, one of you must speak. Oh God, what language is this?
Yeah. But yeah, the Carnival is an international celebration that's usually held during February or early March. While it's celebrated all over the world, it's mostly known to be celebrated in what country? For
Brazil.
500 points? Yeah.
Yeah. I know something.
Yeah. In fact, it's celebrated so much in Brazil that it's known as the world's largest festival. It has so much dancing, floats, parties, and of course, food. But
Yay.
I guess before we go deep into the food of the Carnival, wanted to cover more of the origins of the Carnival first. We don't really have time to cover obviously all the origins of every country about Carnival, so we'll just focus on Brazil.
Some highlights. The
Um,
highlight reel.
the highlight reel, exactly. The origins of Carnival come from, as pretty much everything we talk about here, Catholicism and colonialization.
Ah, yes, the big ones.
The word itself, carnival, roots from the Latin words carne and val, meaning farewell to
Meat?
meat or goodbye flesh.
I know what carne means. As
Yeah,
carne asada.
yeah, exactly. And then val, I guess, means goodbye or farewell.
That sounds kind of morbid.
Would you
A
want
little bit murdery.
to?
Just a little bit.
Would you, with those clues of Catholicism, colonialization, and the definition as farewell to meat, would you want to guess why it's called farewell to meat or goodbye flesh?
I'm kind of scared. Is it it's the vow that you take when you become a vegan?
A Catholic vegan
Yes.
before you colonize a country.
Yeah, yeah. You gotta be plant-based.
Uh,
I got
unfortunately,
it
not.
right. No. Dang.
It's actually not as exciting. The reason why it's called farewell to meat is it ties into the Catholic holiday called Ash Wednesday. It's kind of like the beginning of fasting for Catholics before Easter. So think of it, I guess, like how we did the Eids back a few episodes ago, where they celebrate after they fast from the Ramadan.
Mhm.
Carnival for them would be a celebration before they say goodbye to meat, which is what
Oh,
happens
okay.
on Ash Wednesday.
Because everything's burnt to ash. You can't eat it.
Sure. Ash Wednesday itself is kind of a ritual where Catholics fast from eating and put ashes on their forehead. It's apparently supposed to be a symbol of death and repentance. Something about ashes where you're born and from ash you will return.
Ashes to ashes.
Yeah, that's I think where that comes from.
Got it.
Ash Wednesday is also the beginning of what Catholics call Lent, which is the 40-day time of fasting and sacrifice. This is kind of a whole episode in itself to explain Lent, I think, and it's about not eating, which is similar to Ramadan as well. So that's why Carnival happens between February to March is because Carnival always starts on the Friday before Ash Wednesday and ends on Ash Wednesday. And Ash Wednesday doesn't happen on the same day every year, similar to the Eids as well.
Right. So it's not a celebration of Beyond Meat
No,
burgers.
it's a celebration of saying goodbye to meat because you're gonna fast for like forever.
Forever. So you gotta have a party to forget the woes.
Yeah, pretty much a 5-day party. The opposite way of how Islam handles it, where they celebrate after.
Right.
But I think,
Yeah.
well, they also have Easter, I think, after Lent, which is another celebration. So, them
There's a
Catholics,
lot
they
of
just love to
celebrating
party.
happening.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about Ash Wednesday or Lent too much because that's just a whole different topic. That's not really for Carnival. All you need to know is that it's the celebration you do before you go into Ash Wednesday.
There's a lot of bikinis.
Yeah, I feel like that's just Brazil in general.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Carnival itself was brought to Brazil by Portuguese Catholics as early as the 1600s. During this time, though, I don't think it was called Carnival. From what I found, it was called Entrudo, which is a similar festival, but it also apparently included a big water fight.
Ooh, that sounds like fun.
Yeah, I think we should cover Entrudo at some point. This seems fun. Eventually, though, Entrudo became Carnival as we know it today, and the water fight was taken away. And the celebrations became more of a party, similar, I guess, to like a ball. The celebration itself root in the Parisian tradition of masquerade parties. That's, I guess, how you'd kind of imagine what these balls would have looked like, at least for the colonizing Portuguese. I don't think it would be a masquerading party for the slaves and indigenous Brazilians.
No, they just look at these colonizers like these fuckers are crazy.
Exactly. Pretty much. Although there were some research that suggested that back during Intrudo, it was open to anybody to have that water fight. So I don't know if everybody meant all kinds of Portuguese colonizers or
Right.
actually meant all kinds of people in Brazil.
I highly doubt that it means all people, just because,
I do too, because they did say something about how the water fight was inclusive and anyone can water anyone. I don't imagine Portuguese colonizers being happy with their slaves throwing water at them.
Exactly. It's like, you cannot be having fun.
Yeah.
Stop it.
No fun. What's interesting, though, is that when it comes to masquerade parties, the elements of masquerading as someone you are not actually goes as far as ancient Greek and Roman times, where there's like a holiday called Saturnalia in Rome, where masters and slaves would actually switch clothes and roles. So maybe they were actually allowed to water each other. Or not. Because here, slaves would dress up as masters, masters would dress up as slaves, and the whole roles were actually almost switched for a day. Parties like these, I think historians tend to call as safety valves. This is just a way to get rid of social pressures built up in society during the year. So I guess, having a way to switch roles allows slaves to have fun enough that they could continue being slaves for the rest of the year.
You get one day. That's good, right? We're good. We're even.
Exactly. That's pretty much what they're trying to say here.
Nice.
And like we said, it is debatable whether these parties were exclusive to the rich or not. So I don't think we can talk about that too much because we're not really historians.
We're not doctors either,
Nope.
apparently.
Or anthropologists.
Or anything.
Yeah. But if we assume, though, that this level of exclusivity existed, it could have continued as late as the 1900s, because in the early 1900s, parties started to move to the streets and celebrated by everybody. At this time, everyone seemed to have celebrated it already.
Including
Carnival.
vegans.
Including vegans. Now, maybe a theory could be that everyone in Brazil could have celebrated it, but maybe the parties were segregated. Who knows? That's, again, something we can't speak to. Today, though, Carnival is much different from its origins. So these parties of masquerades and fancy balls, that's not really how Carnival is today. As you may know, Carnival today is, you could see pictures of it in Google or whatever. You'll see people are in the streets dressed up in ridiculous, crazy costumes. Everyone's dancing and having fun. They're not encloistered in a closed ball room or whatever. So you could kind of think of it, I guess, now as well as Carnival being a social valve for Brazilians as well.
With a lot of bras. And
Yeah.
shiny underwear.
Yeah. So what happens exactly in the Carnival? Well, one thing that happens that we may have seen if you ever Google it are the dresses and costumes that people dress up with during the celebration. One similar to the Saturnalia, one tradition during Carnival would be actually people dressing up in opposing roles. So men would dress up as women dresses up as men, poor dress up as rich, rich dress up as poor. These are some ways that Brazilians may dress for Carnival. Afro-Brazilians, for example, who tend to be commoners, would don and dress up fancier in elaborate dresses to potentially even mock the elite. This form of dressing for mockery may be another way for people to dress during the Carnival. People also apparently dress up in costumes or dresses as a way to protest against the government or social and environmental issues. So again, probably encompassing that social valve idea.
This is your day, guys.
Yeah, it's your
Make all your
date.
grievances known.
Exactly. It's
After
like,
that,
oh
we don't
yeah,
want to hear
they're
any complaints.
burning our forests. I'm gonna dress up, and that will do it. But I think it's more of a way for people to internalize it and vent out rather than actually try to solve problems. And maybe some way to just make people aware of the issues. But also another way for people to dress up in costumes is for another big element of the Carnival, which is dancing. Would you happen to know what the dance they perform during the Carnival usually is?
Beyond dance. I don't know.
It's the samba.
Oh, duh.
Which apparently, I guess, is the Brazilian dance.
I think yes.
Yeah. This tradition of dancing the samba during Carnival roots back to as early as the early 1900s as well. Samba is such a big part of the Carnival that one of their main events is the samba dance competition between different samba schools in Brazil. When it comes to samba schools, don't try to think of it as like those rigid dance schools that we have in North America. They're more like community center classes or clubs.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
Yeah, just lots of fun. People just, I guess, shaking hips in their bikinis
Shiny
or
bikinis.
mankinis. I don't know what. I guess
Very
men
shiny.
wear bikinis too.
They're just bikinis, but worn by dudes.
One kinis?
One bikini?
Is it called bikinis because there's two parts to it?
Bikini? Should we be saying bikini?
So for men, it's just a monokini?
Monokini? Unikini.
Unikini.
Monokini.
I think I like unikini.
Uni. Yeah, let's go with unikini.
The dance competition itself is hosted in a place called the Sambadrome, which is pretty much an exhibition space built specifically for this competition.
Oh, yeah. That's cool. I'm just picturing that it has like glitter everywhere.
Yeah, pretty much. It's a Hallmark Christmas movie, but
with dancing.
Dancing. The competition itself lasts for 4 whole days, starting on the Friday, and often begins at night at around 8 p.m. and ends as late as 7 a.m. in the morning.
That's a lot of dancing. That's a lot of energy drinks.
The way the competition works is each school performs for an hour, and then
an hour
the
of
next
dancing
school goes.
is very long too.
It is long. So if you could imagine, that's
maybe
like,
we're just weak though. I don't know.
Probably. I can't even walk for 5 minutes before getting tired.
Yeah, I think we're just weak. We can't samba.
Yeah, but imagine that like it's 12 hours of dancing every day for 4 days, and it's an hour for each school. So there's a lot of samba dance schools in Brazil.
Yeah, I bet. It's like, how many Starbucks do we have in one block?
Pretty much. Each samba school, as we said, has an hour to show their prowess in dance. But we're not really a dance podcast, so I'm not going to cover how they dance. I'm assuming they just dance the samba for an hour.
Yeah,
as far as
I'm just going to picture that in my head.
Yeah. When it comes to the presentation, as far as I know, all I know about these dance presentations are that they're led by a female flag bearer called the Porta Banderia, and are led together with a male dancer called the Mestre Sala, who is apparently the flag bearer's protector. These two are usually the
Bodyguard.
best dancers of the school, and they kind of walk in. Imagine, like, I guess the Olympics when the countries are coming in. They kind of
Oh
walk
yes.
in first, and then everybody follows. The dancers, the drummers, and everyone else follows. Everyone's dressed up in these elaborate costumes. Usually, there's also a float that comes with them.
Ooh, a whole
um,
float.
and the school's queen, who is also one of the most talented dancers, are usually found with the drummers dancing there. I'm assuming she's at the float, probably.
She's at the helm.
Yeah, pretty much. Doing the Queen's wave, but in a samba way. I guess for those listening, you have to watch the YouTube video to see what stupid dance we did.
We did a stupid dance.
This dance.
Oh, right. I'm like, oh, we literally just did it. I was trying to think of like, when else did we do a stupid dance? But yes, okay.
We don't dance enough, I guess.
No, we never dance.
And lastly, before going to food, of course, the Carnival wouldn't be a celebration without its parties. Just like we
Yeah.
have block parties, I guess, here, Carnival takes that to the next level by having a ridiculous amount of block parties. Each block party, called the blocos, are pretty much massive street parties. These parties are full of music, dancing, parades, celebrations. From how I understand it, these are the parties that you don't really see on TV, because usually the TV focus is probably in the Samba Drome, so that's where most of the promotions and all the hype comes. But you got to remember, the
I
whole
wanna
city is
visit this
partying.
drum.
Yeah, right. It looks cool. I wonder how big it is. There's that many schools dancing. Is it like
I'm
an Olympic?
picturing it's gigantic. I hope it's
Probably
gigantic.
exhausted. We get tired just walking from one side to the other.
You have to dance across the whole thing. You can't walk.
I'd make it halfway and pretend like I'm sinking. Help me!
I don't know what I just did. That was a weird action.
We would probably be the first presentation because they just want to get us over with.
Yeah, do not watch the video of this. Thank
Yeah.
you.
But yeah, these blocos are massive parties all around the city, probably all around Brazil. And just like how every samba school can have their own flair and taste of their dance, every bloco is also different, whether it's the location in the streets or in the beach. It could also be different in the way they play their music, the way they dress up in costumes. There are themed blocos apparently, and even have different kinds of parades.
Under the sea. Let's all be mermaids.
Oh, that'd be
That's
so
what I
fun.
want.
Then we can really only use our hands to dance.
Yes, you can flop your tail.
Yeah.
That's it.
As we talked about in its origins, the origins of Carnival came from food. It was a food festival where you eat before you fast. Nowadays, it's not really a Catholic celebration anymore, but obviously people still eat during Carnival. Unfortunately, they're not cotton candy
Oh,
or hot
no.
dogs when it comes to the food in
Corn
Carnival,
dogs,
but
fried butter.
most of the food in Carnival do seem absolutely delicious. One of the more popular dishes you'll find in Carnival is Brazil's national dish, the feijoada. Oh god. Feijoada? Feijoada? Feijoada?
Can't help you there. I have no idea.
Any of our listeners in Brazil might need some help in that one. But essentially, it's kind of a pork and bean stew. How I kind of see this, it's apparently a very heavy meal, so it's your pre-game meal. The meal you have before your party, or maybe during the downtime to recharge. It's, as we mentioned, a pork and bean stew. Its name itself roots from the word feijão, which is bean in Portuguese. Probably not pronounced that way.
Frijoles?
Yeah, actually, that's pretty close to the Spanish one. So maybe it's feijão. Feijão. My Asian Chinese accent's coming out by saying it, so stop.
We're just gonna go with beans.
Beans.
Okay.
Essentially, the dish itself is rooted from the word beans in Portuguese. The dish itself does have Portuguese roots, but its origin of the dish is likely from slavery or colonialization again, as ingredients were low cost and easily available. It's an easy way to prepare beans and whatever meat you have.
Sounds good.
It is it looks delicious. The dish itself is prepared by slow cooking the black beans with pork and some spices, onions, garlic, and tomato.
Yum.
Often enjoyed with a side of rice, which I know you will
No.
give a thumbs up.
Boo.
Oh, now I'm hungry. Anyway.
You're allowed to eat after we record this episode.
Yeah, pretty much. Other dishes, though, could include moqueca baiana, which is a fish stew with this beautiful orange color, probably from the tomatoes used, and flavored with coconut, spices like paprika, cumin, cayenne, and coriander. You should look at pictures of this thing. It looks delicious.
I'm picturing it to look like Tang.
Yeah, it kind of does. It's very orange, because I guess the tomato makes it dark orange, and then put in the coconut milk and everything with the cumin, cayenne, and paprika.
And the paprika.
Give it all that color.
Yeah, it's like all the orangey spices.
Yeah, it looks delicious. Another dish that you could have is karuru. Karuru. It's a green stew of sorts made of okra and flavored with nuts and shrimp. You kind of think of it as, like, I guess, Brazilian gumbo. Is how I would guess that.
With okra, it's probably a little slimy.
It is.
A little snotty.
But they do make it kind of a stewy thing, so I think the nuts absorb the sliminess. Is how I'm going to guess it. It's a Filipino dish that kind of looks like this, but it has shrimp, so it's not really that.
I was expecting it to be a bird.
Karuru.
Yeah.
Karuru.
I was wrong.
For us alcohol lovers, a popular Brazilian drink would be the caipirinha, which isn't specific to Carnival. I think it's Brazil's.
Oh, I know this one. It's
drink.
minty.
It is. It's a cocktail similar to a mojito, but uses an alcohol called cachaça instead of rum. It could
I
be
have no
served
idea
with
what it
mint
tastes
or
like,
just
but
lime.
it sounds good.
Cachaça with some sugar and lime, and then you could put mint if you want, I guess.
I just want mint. Just put mint in everything.
But as you probably know, you're not going to be sitting down during Carnival.
No.
You can be out dancing and partying. So another popular form of food during the Carnival are the street food, where vendors sell a variety of food from pies to sweet pastries to meat dishes. There's so many different varieties here of like shapes, sizes, kinds, and I'm assuming there's so much regional variety as well that we can't cover everything. So I picked my favorites.
Which is?
There are the brigadeiros, which are truffle or fudge balls that contain chocolate, condensed milk, and cocoa.
Okay, I'm sold. I
There's
need some.
Quindim, which is a custard of sorts, but also adds coconut to its flavor profile.
They have a lot of coconut things happening, and I'm all for it.
Yeah. I mean, they are pretty down south. You know how it is down below.
Coconutty?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think. I don't know. I'm not a geographist.
I'm not a coconutist.
Geographer?
I'm not a nutarian.
Googliest?
We're Googlers.
Googlers.
That's how we know things.
There's this one called the pão de queijo. Pão de queijo, which is a cheese bread of sorts. It looks delicious. It's, I guess, their kind of version of empanada. But the cheese is actually cooked with the bread, or baked in the bread instead of having the cheese on top. There's also the pastel de queijo, which is a deep fried pastry filled with cheese. I'm guessing queijo is cheese.
Queso, because it's close to queso.
And that, yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. How do you spell it?
Queijo.
Yeah, close enough.
Yeah.
I am now
Queijo,
an expert
like queso.
about cheese.
Sure. Yeah, this one's a deep fried pastry with cheese. I'd like to think of it as like a rectangular pizza pop, but incredibly cheesy. It just looks delicious.
I'm so hungry right now for some.
There are also some variations of this that could contain fruits, chocolate, or
take it out.
Meat.
I just want this cheese Pop-Tart.
Yep,
that's all I want.
It looks amazing. There's also agaraje.
Is it made of dog?
No. Terrible.
I just guess what food it is based on what you make it sound like. Based on how you mispronounce things.
Ararahe. Oh wait, it's akarahe.
No, it's
There was a
not.
C. I completely did not read.
Okay, that doesn't sound like dog.
Akarahe is a deep fried fritter that features shrimps and onions cooked in a Brazilian palm oil or azeite dente, and it's split in half after you fry it and filled
I don't
with
share.
vatapa.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna split it in half to share. I don't do that.
No, you don't share it. Ew, who does that?
No.
It's split in half so you could fill the middle part with vatapa, which is a paste made out of peanuts. Delish. As we are a smorgasbord people, can't do a food list without any chicken dishes.
Yes.
So there's the Brazilian chicken coxinha, which are chicken croquettes, and katipuri, which is a sort of cheese.
There's a lot of cheese and coconut happening,
Yeah.
and I'm so here.
We gotta
for
go to
it.
Brazil.
Yeah, can we go to Brazil? How's their COVID? Oh, they're not doing good.
They were like one of the ones who
Didn't
kind
believe
of did
in
a Britain
COVID.
thing, yeah. Like our bikinis will save us.
If you wear it as a mask, maybe.
They're like, why put face covering? We barely even cover ourselves.
You're gonna need an extended monokini to reach your face.
They're like plague masks, the monokinis.
Ah, yes. Connected to your lower parts.
What? It makes for easier ventilation?
Ew.
Just piping. You want to root everything out.
I'm not investing in one of those.
Yeah, I'm out. But yeah, these croquettes, are tear-shaped rather than round, apparently to mimic the look of a chicken thigh, which is what they use for the meal.
Aesthetically pleasing.
They are. Oh, I'm so hungry now. On the flip side, there are also kibe, which are beef croquettes instead. These apparently have a fairly Middle Eastern influence. It actually comes from Lebanon, I think, rather than Portugal. These ones feature spices like cinnamon and mint in it, which sound like really cool spices to put with beef.
Yeah.
On a croquette. There's also bacalhau, or little cod balls, which are just fritters with cod and potatoes. It'd be a fun name to give somebody. Who's my little cod ball?
My little cod
You're
ball.
my little cod ball.
You're such a little cod ball.
Oh, you're such a good little cod ball.
The most unattractive pet name I've ever heard.
Is it a fish? No, it's my dog, dumbass.
My dog that's made of fish.
Probably we'll find also a lot of grilled meats and sausages in the street foods. Some examples of these are picanha, which is just top sirloin steak. Top
sirloin steak. That is the order of words.
Yeah. Or espetinhos, which are sausage skewers served with a spicy sauce.
Spicy, and I bet it's actually spicy.
Yeah. It's surprising that this is the first spicy dish I found.
Actually, I don't know if Brazilian food is particularly spicy.
Yeah, I
would
so.
just expect that like warmer countries have hotter food.
Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, that's kind of what kind of food you would expect in Brazil, and I guess in Carnival as well. I figured I'd also look at some other Carnival food from other countries. In Italy, for example, they eat a lot of fish apparently during Carnival. I think this has
little
to do
cod balls.
Yep, they're just a bunch of little cod balls in Italy.
I thought they were all about the meatballs.
Nope, just cod balls.
Just cod balls. Okay.
Well, they also serve little fritters, fritelles or cristoles with cream. In France, Carnival or Mardi Gras, meaning Fat Tuesday. Ooh, we should do Mardi Gras. That would be a fun episode to cover too.
All right, put that on the to-do list.
Yeah. In France, though, you would have beignets, waffles, crepes.
The first time I saw the word beignet, I was like, big nets. What is a big net? And I saw it at a
Can I get
Popeyes.
a big net?
Big net?
The fishing store is next door, ma'am. Oh, I want a big net.
Big net, that chocolate one.
Chocolate big net. In Germany, obviously, you get some bratwurst and sausages, but there's also kartoffel soup, bowl of potato soup with German sausage.
Except for the potato part.
In Poland, they have their own version of Fat Thursday called Tulsti Czwartek. And one of their traditions involves indulging in donuts.
Oh, I like
Called
that.
Trusty or Fawarki. That sounds like a dynamic duo.
Yes.
This September, meet Trusty and Farky. Take on crime, one donut at a time.
I thought they were gonna take on Krispy Kreme. Just absolutely destroy it.
Seems like a lot of donuts. Or
I mean,
dough
it's a very
stuff
convenient food to carry with you as you're partying.
Yeah, I guess so. And I guess because a lot of these are also like historically Christian, so they follow the no meat thing that comes with fasting during that time.
It's beyond burger time.
Yeah,
beyond donut.
Burger. So I guess you're kind of right because it's beyond meat.
Yeah.
Like Ash Wednesday is a beyond meat day. Cyprus, they have like chicken kebabs, and also like cheese kebabs. It seems.
Oh, cheese kebab.
They also have this meat-free Cypriot party piece, which I guess is a potato salad with stuff.
That doesn't sound like a party. I guess potato salad is pretty party food.
Yeah.
It's like what everybody brings to a party.
Just no raisins, Karen.
What's raisins in a potato salad?
Karens do.
Yeah. Okay, I've seen those.
Have you seen that of the Celebrity Jeopardy with Chadwick as Black Panther?
No.
So Black Panther does, or is it Black Jeopardy or Celebrity Jeopardy? Anyway, I'll put the link for everyone to watch on the episode, and I'll send you the link later. It's the best.
Does it have anything to do with potatoes?
It does.
Okay. I was like, what are you talking about? Okay.
In Trinidad
Apropos of nothing. Potatoes.
You know, just Black Panther fits for everything. It's good party conversation.
Black Panther and potatoes.
Yep. In Trinidad and Tobago, apparently they have a lot of parades as well and colorful costumes. And they have dishes like curry chicken, fried bread sandwiches, or corn soup. And lastly, in Jamaica, they have their own carnival-style celebration called the Bacchanal. I think it's Bacchanal, because I don't think it's Bacchanal.
Yeah, it's like art is anal cheese.
Oh man, this is very pungent cheese.
Very art is anal cheese.
Yeah, and I guess like we do in every Smorgasbord episode, we ask the 2 favorite questions. Or not favorite, just 2 questions.
Just 2. Yeah.
Is it healthy or is it good? Is it healthy?
It's not healthy in COVID times.
It's not healthy in COVID times. You don't want to be
going out and partying.
Nope.
With a mankini on.
In fact, good for Brazil to cancel Carnival this year.
Is that confirmed for 2020?
I think so. I'm pretty sure they confirmed that one. In terms of the food, I don't know, man. It's cheese. It's delicious. It's healthy for your mind.
Particularly good for you physically.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm sure it's healthy as like food for energy because you're dancing and partying all day anyway.
Yes.
So
I mean, everything is okay. I'm not gonna say everything, but most things are okay in moderation.
Yeah.
You don't want to eat 5 metric tons of cheese.
But I mean, if you're dancing for 12 hours, maybe 5 metric tons of cheese is what you need.
And water. Yeah. Don't forget to hydrate.
Ooh, some deep fried jalapenos with some cheese.
Ooh. Oh my god. I can make a casserole out of it.
Can you, when you buy them, cut it open and put some cheese in it and then stuff it again?
It's not. It's like, it looks like chips.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
They're not wet.
What if you get a bike pump and pump it open?
If you really want to, you can do anything.
And the last question, is it good? Yeah.
Yeah,
Brazilian
it
food's
sounded
delicious.
really good. I've never
Caipirinhas are
had.
delicious.
Okay,
So,
I've never had Brazilian food.
oh, they're so good.
So,
Back in my office days, Willie and I had Brazilian coworkers, so they would have obviously bring for themed food parties or potlucks. They would bring Brazilian food, and those
wow.
pastries. I don't know if they're called the same thing, but they're like. I guess it reminded me of those cheese pastries we are talking about. It kind of
Mhm.
reminded me of that, but they were like meat versions. So I guess it's like their version of empanadas.
Okay. Also similar to like a patty.
Yeah.
I love those. It's just an envelope filled with happiness.
Yep. Yep. I will stamp that to my place every day.
And I really think that cheese Pop Tarts should become a thing.
You have to make it sound Portuguese. As a master cheese person, you have to.
Artisanal Pop Tarts.
Sure, we're no linguists, but we'll go with that.
Yes.
So yeah, that's our episode on Carnival. If you have any rituals, myths, or anything strange you want to explore, you could find us at Geek Happy Network on any social media channel, I think. Or email us at team@geekhappynetwork.com. We'd love to hear whatever comment or idea you have for
And
us to
what
cover
your
as an
favorite
episode.
artisanal cheese is.
Yeah, you could tag us with your favorite artist anal cheese.
Yay.
That's it. I'm gonna go eat.
That's a wrap.
That's a wrap. Ooh.
It's almost midnight as we're recording this, but you know what that means. It's snack time.
Snack time. Done
Peace
deal.
out.
This is Smörgåsbord.
This show was created by Angel Lin and Mik Narciso, hosted by Angel Lin and Mik Narciso, edited by Mik Narciso and Bianca Guico, logo and graphics by Angel Lin, music by Mik Narciso, and videography by Bianca Guico. The show is produced by Geek Happy Network, constantly curious about the things we love. If you enjoyed listening to Smörgåsbord, remember to subscribe to the show on Spotify, YouTube, or on your favorite podcast app. Remember to leave a review. We would love to hear your thoughts.